welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Tuesday, October 28th. Hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be discussing some exciting news, HBAR, Litecoin, and we also had the Bitwise staking Solana ETF that got approved today. And this marks the first ever spot ETF for HBAR and LTC in the US market. And we knew that, HBAR, LTC, Solana were all front runners. XRP, for whatever reason, it's like the bastard child, right? Obviously, they're manipulating it as much as they can, and not surprising to see XRP at the bottom of the waiting list once again. But we'll save the best for last, and I would expect it to be coming at some point soon. But we'll take a look at the new ETFs that launched, and we'll take a look at HBAR as well, the price action, what to expect in the days, weeks, months ahead. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You've been notified on any future videos or when I go live. And full disclosure, I do own HBAR. I do own Litecoin as well in my portfolio. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as one of my platforms of choice going forward. So I do believe we're going to see multiple bullish alerts go off on HBAR. We've added that to the POW algo alerts. So there's over 100 assets and growing with over 25 custom indicators, and that is also growing. And there's more than likely going to be a super bullish alert that's going to fire off here on HBAR in the next couple of weeks. If you're subscribed to the POW algo alerts, you'll have to keep an eye out for that. It's going to be the bullish triple thunder crossover, which is when the MACD on the weekly, the stochastic on the weekly, and when the price gets above the 10-week moving average. When all three of those happen simultaneously, an alert will fire off, and I think that could very well come to fruition here over the next couple of weeks. So this was the article from yesterday. Spot Solana, Litecoin, and HBAR ETF set to go live on Tuesday as U.S. exchange posts listings, and this had to do with the DTCC as well. It was the same ticker for LTCC. And as we know, it's not a guarantee when it hits the DTCC, but there's never been a listing that's showed up on the DTCC and not actually launched. So that was a huge clue that we were more than likely going to see Litecoin at some point soon, and HBAR as well. And it actually came to fruition today. So Hedera Foundation posted here today as well. Today marks history as HBAR becomes the third ever crypto ETF to launch after Bitcoin and Ethereum. To make this clear, out of the 19 million plus cryptocurrencies that CoinMarketCap tracks, it was the Canary Fund's HBAR ETF that passed, citing Hedera's institutional grade network. So like I said, I'm very bullish on HBAR long term. I own it in my portfolio, but it ended up being a little bit of a sell the news event. This is typically what happens. So show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. That's exactly what happened. We had a 12-hour uptrend, and then we had a 12-hour bull flag that confirmed. We had a measured move of 19.9 cents, so we'll round it up to about 20 cents. And we actually hit almost just under 22 cents. So, and we also had the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross lining up there as well. So we were given a lot of heads up here just based on this 12-hour bull flag that we could more than likely see quite a bit of upside just from that low there to the target. Would have been about a 13% trade opportunity. And again, show me the chart, I'll tell you the news. And then the news came out after the bullish continuation pattern played out, and then it ended up being a bit of a sell the news, like I said. If we zoom out here to the weekly time frame as well, you can see that nasty wick and liquidation event that happened last week, but not surprising. Again, you see these huge liquidation events right before spot ETFs go live. It's insane how much this market is manipulated. But the ticker is HBR on the NASDAQ. And again, that's the Canary HBAR ETF. Canary, however you pronounce it. So you can see it was a pretty wild day trading. If we zoom into the hourly time frame here, we had a huge upper wick and then nasty bearish reversal candle there. Not even a reversal because it was the first hourly candle, but likely insinuating more downside, and sure enough, that's what happened. So we actually confirmed an hourly downtrend with a lower high and a lower low, but overall, it's going to take a couple of weeks for the price action to fizzle out and gain some data here from the NASDAQ ETF here. And again, this is a spot ETF, which means it actually has to hold the underlying asset, which in this case would be Hedera. If we zoom out to the actually, let's just take a look at LTCC. So this is the Canary Litecoin ETF on the NASDAQ as well. and you can see it was pretty similar here. But on the second candle, we hit a new low of the day, and we're actually breaking to a lower low here after hours. HBAR. So not surprising to see these go live and then end up being a little bit of a sell the news event. I would expect over the next couple of weeks, as we see the Market Structure Bill, Clarity Act start to really take hold, there's a good chance it's going to pass before the end of the year. In my opinion, over the next couple of months, we're probably going to see, maybe even dozens of spot ETFs go live. And then with the rate cuts, more than likely going to continue to see a series of rate cuts into the end of the year. We have M2 global supply, money supply really skyrocketing. And we're seeing all the signs. You got the S&P 500 at all-time highs. You got most major indices at all-time highs. I think we're going to be due for a massive fireworks show here to end the end of the year. But those are the two tickers. So HBR on the NASDAQ, and then you got LTCC on the NASDAQ. And there was also BSOL, which was the Bitwise Solana staking ETF on the NYSE. And that one didn't fare too much better. Same thing, lower high, lower low, and then ended up dropping to a new low of the day. But fizzling out here after hours, we're stuck within that last hourly candle range there from yesterday. But like I said, ended up being a sell the news event. One thing I wanted to highlight here on HBAR as well is this bullish triple thunder crossover. So this alert's more than likely going to go off at some point on the Pow Algo alerts over the next couple of weeks. You can see that typically what happens is you see a bull cross of the stochastic, and then the price gets above the 10-week moving average. You want to close above it, and then the MACD crosses bullish. When it happens on the flip side, it's called a bearish triple thunder crossover, which we coined in the Pow Algo alerts. It's just the reverse. So when the price loses the 10-week moving average, like right here, the stochastic crosses bearish, like right here, and then the MACD. You can see all three of those things happen simultaneously. The price went from 25 cents all the way down to 10 cents. Now we're looking at the reverse. So you had the bullish triple thunder here, but the thing is you didn't see the full crossover here. So we got it here though. So we had our close above the 10-week moving average, the stochastic and the MACD cross bullish, and price went from about 12 cents all the way up to about 31 cents. And then again, we had the bearish triple thunder, tons of sell pressure. Now we're looking for the bullish triple thunder again. And like I said, the next time that it happens, I think we're off to the races, because like I said, these ETFs, we're just going to see amazing inflows in my opinion, and so much pent up demand. And I know a lot of people in the Pow Group private community were asking me about, should I sell other things in my registered account, my tax-free savings account, to buy HBAR? You have to make that decision yourself. I can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold, but I definitely think that you can't go wrong adding it for the long term here. So I would just be, just make sure you have a plan. That's the most important thing. And if you're going to buy it in a tax-free savings account, for example, like in Canada, or a Roth IRA, maybe you want to consider adding a bit now, and then maybe staggering it, adding a little bit more as time goes on, in case we do continue to dip. But we did top out right at the 50-week moving average, which is right under 22 cents, is pretty much to the penny, is where we topped out today. And then on the daily time frame, we're still due for a death cross. So the 50-day moving average is above the 200. So I would like to see that cross. We're only a penny away. And then if we see that death cross, you can see what happened the last time we had a death cross right here. Price went from, well, really when we had the 50 and the 100 cross bearish, and that was at 26 cents, and then we dropped all the way down to 10, and then we had the 50 and the 200 cross bearish, and we had that death cross, and then we had the follow through with another lower low. Now we just had a golden cross, ended up not really seeing too much upside there, and a lot of it had to do with just kind of the trade war things going on, and then we had that big liquidation event. And in my opinion, like I said, that's nothing more than a shakeout and manipulation before all these spot ETFs get approved in the US, and Market Structure and Clarity Act in the US as well. But like I said, if we can get this death cross out of the way, then I think we could potentially drop back down to around 18 cents, 17 cents, and then we should continue higher from there. So like I said, a little concerning seeing that death cross, but if we can get that out of the way, we're smooth sailing. And then like I said, we're going to more than likely see this sell the news event wrap up. And I think we're going to be, like I said, expecting a little bit more downside here in the very short term, but in the medium term, I think we'll be doing just fine, and we should be due for some massive gains here into the end of the year. And Zcash was a name that has absolutely exploded. And if you take a look at that chart, I think a lot of the altcoins are going to do something similar. All right, let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. Let me know if you bought any of these ETFs. Always love hearing from you. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you on the next video.
Welcome to Pursuit of Wealth Group, your edge in the fast-paced world of stocks and crypto. With POW Algo Alerts, you'll never miss an opportunity. Our system tracks nearly 100 different assets, from stocks and crypto to commodities, and the list keeps growing. Backed by over 25 custom indicators, our alerts cut through the noise and give you clear, actionable insights. Each alert is delivered directly to your inbox and to our exclusive Slack community, where you can connect, learn, and trade alongside like-minded investors. For just $29.99 per month, or save with our yearly plan at $299.99 Canadian. You get professional-grade alerts designed to help you trade smarter, not harder. Stop chasing the market. Start anticipating it. Join today at pursuitofwealthgroup.com and take your trading to the next level with POW Algo Alerts.